I saw a man proudly admit to arson in court, and the wildest part? He walked free because he absolutely deserved to. I swear I'm not making this up. It was the most badass, jaw-dropping moment I've ever witnessed in a courtroom. A few years ago, I got jury duty. Like most people, I groaned, complained, and tried to convince myself it might at least be entertaining. Turns out, it was, just not in the way I expected. The case was simple on paper. A middle-aged guy named Henry was accused of burning down a storage shed behind an apartment building, property damage, endangering residents, felony arson. He walked into the courtroom wearing overalls, work boots, and a face that said he had not lost a minute of sleep over any of this. He didn't look scared, or guilty, or nervous. He looked bored. The prosecution went first. They showed photos of the burned shed, talked about how the fire could have spread, and showed security footage of Henry walking behind the building shortly before flames erupted. Then came the statement from the landlord, a guy who looked like someone had squeezed a real estate agent into a too small suit. He called Henry unstable, dangerous, and a menace to the community. Henry just stared at him with the flattest expression I've ever seen. When it was finally Henry's turn to testify, he walked to the stand with the energy of someone going to get a snack. The defense lawyer asked, "Mr. Brooks, did you burn down the shed?" He leaned into the mic and said, loud and clear, "Absolutely." Gasps, murmurs, even the judge raised an eyebrow. The prosecutor practically leapt out of his chair. "Your Honor, the witness is confessing to the crime." Henry cut him off. Not a crime if it wasn't the landlord's property anymore. We all froze. The prosecutor looked confused. The defense attorney looked smug. The judge said, "Explain." Henry took a deep breath and said, "The landlord had been ignoring maintenance requests for years. That shed was rotting, moldy, full of termites, and collapsing. I told him to tear it down. Everyone told him, but he wouldn't because he was planning to illegally raise rent by calling it a storage amenity." He continued, voice steady, "That shed had black mold. I told him it was making people sick. He told me if I didn't like it, I could leave." Then Henry smiled this slow, deliberate grin and dropped the bomb. "So I bought the shed." His lawyer handed the judge a stack of papers, a bill of sale, signed, notarized, time-stamped. The landlord's jaw literally dropped. He sputtered, You tricked me." Henry shrugged. "You listed it for $1 on Craigslist. Said come haul this thing away. So I did." He turned back to the courtroom. "And after I bought it, I burned it. On my property, which I owned, legally." The prosecutor looked like he'd swallowed a bee. The defense attorney looked like she'd won the Super Bowl. The judge actually laughed. Henry added one last thing. "Oh, and I called the fire department before I lit it. Told them it was a controlled burn. They gave me permission. Here's the permit." He held up another document like he was showing a recipe. At this point, even the bailiff looked impressed. The judge dismissed the entire case right then and there. The landlord tried to argue, but the judge shut him down. "You sold your unsafe structure. You failed to maintain it. You listed it publicly. You approved the transfer. This man did nothing wrong." Henry walked out of that courtroom a free man, nodding politely at the jury like we were co-workers he passed in the hallway. I swear to you, the man had the calm swagger of someone who had mastered life decades before the rest of us. Here's the part that stuck with me. Henry didn't burn the shed out of anger. He did it to protect the tenants living near it, to prevent sickness, to force change when no one else, even the landlord, would act. And he did it legally, cleverly, flawlessly. He didn't lie. He didn't cheat. He played the landlord's greed against him, and won. Watching him walk out of that courtroom taught me something I'll never forget. Sometimes doing the right thing requires patience, planning, and a little bit of righteous fire. And sometimes the coolest person in the room is the one who refuses to be intimidated, because they already know the truth is on their side.